In this segment, we're going to be talking about toolbox organization and the use of some safety equipment. One thing is that I use, and I keep these handy, is I keep rubber gloves handy. Sometimes you can get them with powder coated or non-powder coated, either one. It doesn't matter either one you want to use, it's fine. Some people's allergic to the powder coated, so it doesn't matter. But I always like to wear gloves in some cases. Now, in one of these videos where we're checking our air conditioning system, and I didn't wear the gloves because they interfered with me doing a little test on the air conditioning system. But you want to try to wear gloves pretty much any time you can. Keep in mind wash your hands so many times. And also the safety glasses are an important component. You'll notice I'm wearing prescription glasses right now, so when I do that, I don't wear the safety glasses. But now we make safety glasses also that will wrap around these. And if I have a situation where I'm in an unsafe environment, like maybe grinding or cutting or something where there's metal flying everywhere, then I'll wear those safety glasses over my prescription glasses. But now, otherwise, I don't wear these unless I have my contacts in. So let's move on to the toolbox. Toolbox organization is very important to me. I want to know where my tools are when I'm working. And you know, in most cases, you want to try to keep the same tool in the same drawer. What I do is I start out at the top drawer with screwdrivers, so that you've got your Phillips head and your flat screwdrivers on either side. And then, of course, you know, smaller tools like maybe Allen wrenches or some Torx bit or Allen sockets. You know, anything small I like to keep toward the top. And then the next drawer I like to keep pliers in. Any kind of you know, plier situation, which includes these adjustable wrenches. I like for them to be in there as well, so that if I want to use something adjustable, this is what I would use, and I can go to this drawer. The next drawer down, I keep the pry bars, and of course you see I've got a little C-clamp in there. That's just thrown in there, but I keep the pry bars handy so I can get to them. Next drawer down is our wrenches. We keep our metric and our standard wrenches, you know, in the same drawer together. In this case, I kind of like to do that. I like to be able to get to metric and standard at the same time, because you know, you never know what you're going to need to use, because a lot of vehicles now, you know, use metric and standard wrenches. So you try to keep them close together so you don't have to be swapping drawers trying to find the tools you need. The next drawer down, I've got all my 3/8 drive sockets and ratchet assemblies. I use these 90% of the time when I'm doing mechanic work. I don't use the 1/2-inch drive stuff. I try my best to stick to this set. And I've got the 1/4 inches in the front, 1/4 inch metric, 3/8 drive metric, 1/4 inch standard, and 3/8 drive standard. They're all right here. Here's all my sockets and my nut drivers. Everything's all right here together, so I can grab what I need if I need a socket or a fastener remover. In that drawer. Next drawer down, I keep a few random things. One thing I wanted to show you, we've got a hacksaw here, which I keep in here, but I've got a hammer in here that I intentionally put in this drawer. If you notice, look how bad this hammer looks. It's all busted open. It's in bad shape. This hammer does not need to be used anymore. You need to discard this hammer, or at least buy you a new handle and put a new handle in this one. You can replace the handle on a hammer if you want to do that, or if you want to replace it with a new one. This hammer does not need to be used like this anymore. I put it in the drawer intentionally so you can kind of see, you know, what happened here. This one got busted, so it needs to be replaced. Somebody has been using it for a while and didn't replace it either, because you see the grease on the inside of the broken area of it. So I don't recommend that. I recommend that we replace this hammer, or at least replace the handle on it, okay? Next drawer down has my 1/2-inch drive stuff, and if you'll notice, all this is impact reserved. I keep an impact in this drawer as well, so that we can, you know, take lug nuts off, or maybe take head gaskets, heads loose, or any kind of bolts that are super tight. These are all impact safe. This black socket like this is an impact safe socket, so you don't have to use a hand ratchet to take it apart. So that's what I keep in that drawer. Next drawer has some random things: torque wrench, 4-way lug wrench, and a tire gauge. Just keep a few random things so I know where they are. It does not matter where you put it. Now here's a good hammer right here. This has got a good handle on it. That's a good hammer. I'm gonna move that one up to this drawer temporarily and put it in its place. This is kind of some spare stuff. I have a grease gun here. That's a DA sander, which is not normally used in the automotive industry, but I like to keep one handy in case I need to grind on something. I like to have an extension cord handy. Now you can hang the extension cord outside the toolbox if you want to on a little rack somewhere, but I don't seem to have one at this time, so I just put it in the drawer. But Where you place the stuff is not as critical as the fact that you know where it's at and you have it all together and you have it organized in a position where you don't have to hunt for it. If I need a 10mm wrench, I know exactly what drawer to go to and know right where to pick it up so that I don't have to think about it. And that's what you want to do. And you want to always make sure that tool is in that drawer. Now, when you're using a tool, if you're using a ratchet, a socket, or a wrench, and you get through using it and it's greasy, don't put it back in the drawer because it will make your toolbox smell awful. It takes it a while, but that grease will pretty much rot and make the toolbox smell terrible. So wipe the tools off very good. If you don't have time to wipe them off, lay them on top until you get done with a complete job. Lay all your tools on top that you've been using for that job, and then when you get through, come over here and take your rag and wipe them off one at a time and put them back in the drawer where they go in a clean fashion. You want your toolbox to stay clean and orderly, where you know where everything's at. You don't want a junky looking toolbox. We don't want to look like Shade Tree Mechanics. We don't want to look like, grease, what they used to call grease monkeys. We want to try to stay as clean as we can and as orderly as we can, and so that we look like professionals. Now, if you're doing this at home, it's the same way. You don't want to be able to have to deal with greasy tools. It's just not fun to have to go to them. You want to get a spoon out of a drawer to eat with, and the spoon's dirty. No. Same way with your tools. You don't want to get a wrench out of your toolbox and it's greasy and you get grease on your hand before you ever even touch the car that you're working on or the vehicle you're working on. So always pay attention to maintaining the toolbox, making it look good, making it look orderly. Wipe it down every once in a while. Keep the grease off of it. Keep it looking good. Hopefully this is something that will help you as you go into your career in the automotive field, or if you're not doing that, if you're just going to work in your backyard, keep it neat looking, make it look nice. It doesn't take but just a few minutes to do it right, and doing it right is the most important thing.